Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is answering your financial questions live with Coach Steve Money, and episode number 148 today. Okay, so we got audio, but it's not supposed to be on this page. It's supposed to be on that page to start out. YouTube.com/Coach Steve Money is where you're watching this. I am Coach Steve Money, and I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And that is Spectrum telling me that the outage is resolved. For me, it wasn't really an outage. I mean, it was out for maybe 2 minutes and then came back. And they said it would take until 10 o'clock. And so, of course, what you do in any service industry is you under promise and over deliver. And that keeps the customers happy generally. We're all good on that. Okay. And where was I? Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. Oh, my financial content on my channel. You just go past the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch playlist, and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. That, of course, is 11:07 a.m. Eastern Time after the YouTube debut of the previous weekday's Ramsey Show. And so if it's Monday, that would be recorded Friday. If it's Friday, that would be recorded Thursday. And upcoming news about I get to do more after shows next week. Every day except Tuesday. There it is. The cat's out of the bag. And the answering your financial questions stream, and there's 148 of those. It says 147 there, but today's is 148, which that is now in the playlist, even though I didn't reload this page after I started the stream. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs. Oh goodness, what's one I could do that I don't do that much? That's what gives financial peace, and that's what gives financial peace. Do 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 do. You know, sounding a lot like Summer Lovin', but no, it's not Summer Lovin'. It is One Direction with That's What Makes You Beautiful. And I changed it to That's What Gives Financial Peace, Fun Times. And as you can see, I misjudged time and waited too long to prepare. And so I only have this page and the Reddit question page. And I did not have it set. So you're going to see a little behind the scenes of how I get ready. And that's to scroll down. And of course, if I had a lovely assistant or even a not lovely assistant, they would probably be doing some of this stuff. So I think we were around 7 days ago, and I'm trying to remember when the last after show was. I can't. All days go together now that I'm working a real job. None of those look familiar though. Decent. Wait a minute. Deceased father left me his construction business, but I don't have any construction experience. I think this person called the Ramsey Show, if I am not mistaken. What car do I keep? Baby steps. Am I missing context? Yeah, we're getting close here. Because I remember briefly looking at that when I preview a few questions that are coming up on the next stream. Sweet spot for buying cars, funeral, decision help, what baby step are we? I think that I do this one. And yeah, people are nutty when they can't decide what baby step they're on. And of course, it helps if I have the baby steps up there, which I don't. And so I'll show you what I do is find the right place on the Reddit. And then we open, what do we open? We open a new tab and we go Ramsey Solutions. and they used to have a link here called products, and you would mouse over it and see the baby steps, but now it's under a new heading called money and the 7 baby steps. So we got that, and just in case I need, always refer to the baby steps, which you should too, and then you would know all of the answers because your little situation doesn't change the baby steps. And the answer is always follow the baby steps unless you're in an emergency or expecting a child, and in both of those cases the baby steps are paused right where you are, and you just pile up cash in those situations. And then when the emergency is over, or mom and baby are home safe from the hospital, then that's when you would apply any cash you have left over from those savings to the baby steps. When you return to the baby steps, you will be exactly on the same spot that you left. Maybe a little bit more because you still will be paying minimums on non-mortgage debt. And I did it wrong. What I did not do correctly, because I'm trying to talk at the same time, was say, hey, open this in a new tab. There we go. And I normally wait to open this up when I have I don't normally talk about the market, give a market report, but I just wanted to check to see if we have a new high today. And to point out how dumb it was for all the people that sold when it went in the recent downage, and it still is. You can tell, yeah, that looks like a new high to me, dog. Let's look 5 years, you can see it better. That looks like a new high for the NASDAQ for me. And also for the S&P 500. So if you were up here and you sold or didn't buy when it was down here, guess what happened if you bought when you were down here in this, which is still, not bad. I think this is the, no, where's the Pandy crash? Oh, we got to go way, is that it right there? No, that's it right there. 2025 and 2020. Oh, it might not even be on here. So we would be looking at, oh, right there. There it is. So it is, when was the high before the crash? Was February 14th, Valentine's Day. Bummer for all the Valentines. So, and then it tanked, and you can see how different this is looking at it then. I mean, at that point, you were seeing this, and then it going down, and even after it recovered, it was still just like back to the high. But now looking at how high it's gone since then, this is like nothing, but trust me, people freaked out. And so I probably will talk a little bit about this in the after show on Monday. I'll be able to do an after show next week, again, every day except Tuesday due to work schedule. How about that? So yeah, so I don't know, and I won't look at the Dow and the Russell, but S&P 500 and the NASDAQ both new highs. So, oh, and it says right there, squeaks out record high. So you're dumb if you sold. So don't be dumb anymore. Don't sell. And keep buying while it's down, because guess what? All of this drop right here. Let's go back to the 5 years so you can see it. Look at this. All of this drop right here. You know what it was on? It was on a little thing we call sale. So a Kmart blue light special. Kids probably don't know what that is, but on sale, and so you could have made a lot of money. Friend of mine used to add T's to word. He would say we would play tennis sometimes, and I always joked with him about the other people that don't pronounce the word T. Instead of fronting, they say front, like that, and I always made fun of him. I said, oh, you're using all the T's the other people leave out. So that's the fun of my life. And what else? Oh, and I open up a tab for just so we can look up things that I don't know about because I do not know everything. All right. Let's go back to questions. Yeah, so what baby step are we and what you do? So you see, you look at the baby steps and don't be dumb. You are on the lowest baby step that applies to you. And this person has a car lease. And so guess what that is? That is non-mortgage debt. So you're on step 2. I don't care if you're already investing. I don't care if you already have your fully funded emergency fund. You should not have done either of those since you have non-mortgage debt. You should stop both of them. Stop saving. You take all of your money from savings except for the thousands of dollars and put it to your dumbass debt. You stop investing. You don't take any money out of a retirement account to pay off debt. You do if it's just in a brokerage account, just an investing account, no tax advantages. For retirement, you would take it out and pay off your debt. Because if you don't do that, that's debt leverage to have a fully funded emergency fund or be investing. So quit being dumb. You're on the lowest baby step that you qualify for. And since you have the lease, that's debt. And so you're on step 2. It is not difficult. You just don't want to be on step 2. And we did talk about that one before, though. Funeral decision help. Let's see. Juicy warp drive. What would Dave do? Flare. Ex-boyfriend, 33, got into a horrific. Oh, we did this whole thing. He was the love of my life. He contacted me regularly to check in and try to see me, but I wasn't able to both see him and move on. So she made the decision to move on, but he was alcoholic and he had other problems. I think she said as well. So he wasn't perfect at all, but he was trying to at least be still friends. Don't know if he wanted to try to get back together or anything like that. Belle Biv DeVoe, we don't know. But you could not both see him and move on. So you made that decision already. And you're thinking about him, and I think that's enough. So, especially like in step 2, you would not be flying halfway across the country, I believe. They would have to, the person said that she would have to get into debt to fly to there for that. And, funerals are not for the person. If you want to believe like the person when they die goes to heaven, or, you can even go Star Wars with it. They merge with the Force and become part of the living Force. They know you're thinking about them, no matter where you are. So you don't have to go to where the funeral is happening. Funerals are for the other people, for the alive people that are going to be there. And seeing you, I don't know that that's going to help anybody else that he knows. Not necessarily. Maybe you're friends with a bunch of them, and that might be a little bit different situation. But you said you couldn't see him and move on, so and this person may be feeling guilt from that, and so maybe having issues from that. But that would be a no for me to say that. You already made your choice on that. You didn't say he was trying to be friends again, and you said no. So I think you also say no to the funeral. You can still miss him and love him and grieve him. I'll take a spot from take a thing from Dr. John Deloney. Write him letters. If you feel grief and guilt, write him letters. Explain how you feel. He can't read it, but he, theoretically, he could know exactly what you're thinking and that you're thinking about him. And so, yeah. Let's see. Life Nefarious 993. Sweet spot for buying cars. Well, there's not one. Really. You buy the car you can afford. Let's see. Hi guys. Baby step are working. First couple of months I did not make much progress, but with consistency it is moving in the right direction. Finally. Great. So it doesn't sound like you're anywhere near upgrading a car. I'm a little ways out from buying a car, but I have one that's at 130 miles. So I need need. People love to say they need to do something, and no, you're full of crap. You do not need to plan for buying something cash. Oh, next time. Yeah, you do, but we don't plan for that to happen anytime soon. Let's see. I was looking at um, a three-year-old Toyotas, but I really don't see how it maps out. Years ago, yeah, you could, yeah, it might be too expensive for you. You might not be able to get a Honda or a Toyota that are, I will defer to car people. They generally say those are the best cars. Sometimes you don't get to buy the best cars, be in order to go higher on the baby steps. That's more important than a freaking car. The idea for a car, what the car is supposed to do is get you from A to B, and generally A is home and B is freaking work. And other than that, you don't need something for camping, etc., etc. Definitely not in the lower baby steps. And old cars were quite depreciated, but today, in today's world, in this economy, it seems like a 3,000 to 4,000 markdown is not worth the car. Having 45K miles on it, and you can justify whatever you want to and say whatever you want to here. You buy the cheapest car possible, definitely have a mechanic look at it. For sure. I would love to have the math on this. I'm in the market for a light truck. No, you're not. You don't need a light truck. What is it you need a light truck for? Just wants one, I'm gonna guess. But I mean, it's possible. Could have a reason. Just did not share that with us. Looking at Tacoma, Maverick, and Santa Cruz. Too small, but I'm hoping to hear any recommendations. No, I don't have anything for you except if you are still on baby step 2, you are buying the cheapest car possible that your mechanic has signed off on. And do not buy from a freaking dealer. That's the way to pay more money for it. Buy and sell, private sale. That helps out the buyer and the seller, because then the dealership doesn't wet their beak on. Retirement percentage too high. Well, if it's over 15% and you have you still have a mortgage that you're paying off, I wonder if the baby steps would answer this. It says invest 15%. Oh, that was hard to find. It says invest 15% of your household income. And of course, that would be gross household income, as we know. It doesn't say it there. It probably should. I would probably put that extra in there because you're already down to the next line for retirement anyway. So you could put the word gross in there and still not throw off this particular graphic. So I would put gross in there, but that is how much you invest while you are still doing, if step 5 applies, and if step 6 you're paying off your mortgage early. You would pay it off early before you would invest 1 cent more than 15%. All right, let's see. So starting baby step 6, there you go. 6 is paying off the house early. So if you're starting that off, the idea is to finish that before you do something dumb like go over the percentage clearly listed in step 4. I'm wondering if I should lower the amount I'm putting into retirement. Just went through numbers, and I'm currently putting away about 37% of my gross income a month. Well, let's see. How did we get to 37? Did we not look at step 4 on the way of following Dave's advice? I mean, we're saying we're starting step 6. It doesn't sound like you were doing the baby steps at all. If you don't know what step 6 was, A little background, we owed a lot of taxes last year. Oh, that's right, this dumbass is trying to play tax games. Scheming and scamming. And I figured I would max out my 403b, hoping it would help on the taxes. Hey, got a great idea. Don't overspend, save money for taxes if your company's not taking out enough. That's why it's such a high percentage. You're a dumbass. I also have a retirement plan through work and Social Security. Not counting on that. We currently have 10 more years on our mortgage loan, and our hope is to get it done by the time our youngest leaves elementary school. He starts kindergarten next year. Okay. I can't afford to put the extra towards the mortgage with my income and investments as is. No, you pay off that house quicker. And then once you do that, then you will be, it sounds like you make a lot of money. So why not just go ahead and get the house done? But was wondering, I was wondering if, am I special? Is my little situation going to change anything? But wondering if I should lower my retirement contribution for now so that I can throw more money at it and be more aggressive. Yes, because you already should have been doing that if you're following Mr. Ramsey's advice. And you are the one that said you're on baby step 6. You don't say you're on a baby step number unless you're actually following the baby steps. If not, you're just doing your dumb plan, and you can certainly knock yourself out and do that. It's your money and your life, and I certainly support you doing that. But the best thing for you to do is to follow the proven advice. 30 years, millions of documented success stories, and your little way isn't going to be better. I'm 39, hasn't been 40. We haven't been investing too long. So it worries me that I'll be playing catch up, even more so if I stop contributing as much. As you can see, my brain is all over the place. Any advice is appreciated. Well, so you see what we call this part of it. We haven't been investing too long, so it worries me that I'll be playing catch up, even more so if I stop contributing as much. What we call this part of the question is justification station. So, you know, I mean, if you have any brain among you, when you take a glance at the baby steps, you know darn well you're doing it wrong. And so stop doing it wrong, or just do whatever the crap you want to do. Oh, no, I know this is frowned upon in the Ramsey world. Well, you didn't put it in r/financial or r/financial bros. You put it in the Dave Ramsey subreddit, you idiot lady. But my husband and I have separate checking accounts. Yep, that's dumb too. I thought she was talking about the investing too much while you still have a house payment. So everything you're doing is wrong, and much luck with that. It works for us, and I won't change it. Okay, we'll do everything, whatever you want to do, and I don't care. Don't care. Knock yourself out. You don't have to follow the, you should have posted somewhere else other than the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Because you just want to do it your way. So, and if you want to do it your way, why not just do it your way instead of asking? Why are you on here asking? That's so dumb. Baby steps, I'm missing context. Let's see, short ad 1337. That spells leet. Baby step 2, flare. Edit resolved. Okay. The word I'm looking for is sinking fund. Oh, found an article at Dave Ramsey's site about it. Thanks. Okay, great. Previous posts I hashtag mentioned. What up, Moneybags? $1,000 not quite being enough because expenses of more than $1,000 tend to creep up, and then you're back to square one. Yeah, but you don't do sinking funds unless you know it's a known upcoming expense, and that known upcoming expense can be something like new tires, but it can't be something like a new engine because you don't know when that's going to go out. Tires, you can kind of guess on that. There's data on that, but the engine going out, that's something that you wait to have happen until after you're in a much higher baby step than step 2. Don't know which one this person is on. So, I think I've been so worried about the debt, I just didn't think about that. Is there a general percentage or dollar figure Dave recommends putting in your budget for maintenance and annual expenses? Maintenance and annual expenses, hopefully you can just cash flow them. I mean, that's obviously much easier to do if you don't have any freaking debt payments you're trying to send all the money to. And so if you can cash flow it out of 1 month's budget, do that instead for the annual expenses and the budget for maintenance, the maintenance things that come up, like oil changes and stuff like that. That's not that much of an amount. Got a great idea. Get it done somewhere that doesn't charge, what, $60, $80, like the places you drive through in? How about that? You don't do that. How about not doing that? Go somewhere that changes your oil for cheaper. Ruh-roh 702. That would be a Scooby-Doo reference. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you? Advice appreciated. Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. Question A. Oh, you got more than one question. Question A. Interesting to use alphabet for that. Why wouldn't you do question 1? Anyway, my wife and I live in a fairly high cost of living area. You do not get a break on anything. You do not get a break on the math of things just because you live in a fairly high cost of living area. You living there without making a high cost of living salary is your fault. We are completely debt free. That's awesome. Besides our mortgage, okay, great. Guess what? You don't invest 37% or some dumb crap like that before your house is paid off. See, it applies to everybody. It's not just that other person. It applies to everybody. The same rules apply to everybody. And this one is... Oh, the mortgage is 30 years, and that's dumb as crap. If you can't afford the same house on a 15-year mortgage, then it's too much house for you. I was thinking it was 30 years. We don't see this person's age, but the other one was talking about their age, and we haven't put enough away yet. Whiny. The baby steps are the same no matter what age you are. Anyway. Where are we? Debt free beside a mortgage, 30-year, $495K balance. 2 paid off. What's paid off? What's paid off? Houses? Then a mortgage on a third is a no. That's a no. No, no. You wouldn't keep the others. For rental properties, you would sell them instead of go. You don't go, every time you want a bigger house, you don't go into more mortgage, especially with that high of a balance. You use the frequent equity from the previous house. Anyway, 2 paid off, low mileage. Oh, I'm back, my bad. 2 paid off, low mileage, and basically new vehicles. Okay, switch topic switch from the mortgage to the vehicles. My mistake in reading it. Because, there's no verb here. 2 paid off, low mileage, and basically new vehicles. Something like we have would have been great in the first thing. Needing a new vehicle shouldn't be a concern anytime soon. Great. So what do you need advice for then? Combined salary, $171,000 plus bonus each year. If it's a fairly high cost of living area, guess what? That probably doesn't cut it. And you probably did have to get, let's see, 171, that's going to be, 342. And then half of 171, like 85. 342 and 85. So that's 400 and something, okay? And if it depends on how long they've been paying off on it already, the mortgage was probably higher than that. And so, and that's also on a 15, so it would be like what I say it was for 420, like 420 K would be the maximum uh, mortgage that they should have, but they wanted a bigger house, so they get a break on the Ramsey advice. They get to do whatever they want to. We're both 36 years old. There we go. And that doesn't change anything. Your age does not change anything about the Ramsey advice at all. Kids currently aren't in the plan for us. Okay, whatever. That doesn't affect you then. If we know our home isn't our forever home, it's not. It was that much and it's not big enough for you. You overspent on your house already. Should we still work to pay it off? Yes, because you will get the money back, as I was trying to say, thinking that you had two previously lived in paid off houses, or that they were rental properties or something. And I was mistaken about that. They're talking about vehicles. And again, if you don't need one, why mention it? That's not something you need or even thinking about as being a concern. Why even mention it? We don't need all kinds of extraneous information about your life. So your age doesn't matter. Kids currently, I did that already. Maybe adopt one someday if we know our home isn't our forever. Should we still work to pay it off? Yes. And maybe sell it because you were a dumbass for buying it because it's too much house. Because it would have to be at most on 170K. You can't count on bonuses. 171K. That would 420 mortgage should be the maximum, and that's on a 15-year. So, and this is how people make it work with not a fairly high cost of living salary, but living in the fairly high, cost of living area. So you did it wrong. You're still doing it wrong. Oh, let me see if I can get to the last line of this. I may be looking at something wrong. The Ramsey advice, the baby steps, perhaps. But if we know we won't stay here forever, that little crap doesn't have anything to do with it. You bought too much house. The money you're spending on the house and paying on the mortgage is the problem, not whether you'll stay there forever or not. It seems like it doesn't make a lot of sense to pay down the mortgage. What are you going to do with the money instead? You get the money back when you sell the house. I believe we will just sell it, take the equity, and move. Right, and that's when you would get the money back on. But in case you don't move, you would have it more paid off. Or depending on when you might move. Oh, there's more to this. Of course there is. Of course there's more extra stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything about this question. I believe we will. Just sell it. Take equity, move somewhere cheaper down the line. Move somewhere cheaper down the line. Do that crap now, my friend. I would rather put that money towards aggressively saving for retirement now. Am I wrong? Yes. None of this crap matters. None of this. Almost said the yes word. None of this matters. None of this matters. Everything that you're saying, behind, wah. Oh, here's question B. What do you guys actually put away each month for fun money? Well, you don't put it away, you budget it. So you're doing it wrong. You're talking about it wrong. You have no idea what's going on. It's not a percentage of your income. I mean, I guess it could be. It's whatever you and your wife agree to. This is what we do each month. Is it too much? You didn't say how much it was. Vacation savings, well, I think it said debt-free, right? Yeah, debt-free, except the mortgage. Activities, date nights, 300 for activity, 300 a month. Well, I mean, again, that's up to you guys. You know, you are past step 4, only having the mortgage, but it's too much mortgage. But this seems like a lot of money to blow on paper. Yeah, it does. Especially, I mean, if you had a paid off house, I would be totally on board with it. But since you don't have a paid off house and you're doing it wrong, then I'm out on spending that much. That is a lot. So so are you putting 550 a month into that? No. That's just how much is in it total. Okay, so fund money isn't a savings account. Like you can do a sinking fund for the vacation. You don't do a sinking fund for the fund money. I guess if you like say, okay, we'll use X amount of fund money this month, and you don't use it, then maybe you put it in a rainy day for fund money place. So you know, and my money or her money, so that's separate fund money too, and together fund money. Yeah, and that does seem like a lot of seems like a lot of money, not only on paper but typed on Reddit as well. And if you were looking at your hand in your hand, it would seem like a lot of money as well. But sometimes it feels like not enough, even though I know it is. The plan here is to take any salary. Now we're just babbling about stuff. Increases we receive in the future and split it 50-50 between saving and our fund accounts. Oh yeah, see, you don't want to pay out the house. You want to do your dumb crap. So do that. You're not following the Ramsey advice. You're doing it wrong, and it's dumb. It's not the advice. The advice is the advice for a reason. Because it works. As I said, 30 years experience for Mr. Ramsey and millions of documented success stories. No other financial advisor comes even close to that kind of track record. Happy limit 1846. What car do I keep? The one that will sell for the least? Yes, dude. People don't want to hear that. I'm fully aware I've made some terrible choices. Excellent. And that's the kind of person I like, because they have seen reality in front of them and they are embracing the crap out of it. So excellent. Terrible choices. Excellent. I've done some myself, so nobody's perfect at all. So that's fine. I'm working on taking back control and getting it together. Great. That's what you need to do. I am a co-signer. Those were indeed terrible choices. On 2 cars with my ex-boyfriend. Car 1, I financed 50K. Yeah, that was all dumb. So you see, if you're a co-signer on 2 cars with your ex-boyfriend, you sell both of them and get a different car that you buy in cash. I don't give a crap what any of these are. The lease and all of I don't give. One's finance, one's on a lease. I don't give a crap. It does not matter. You get rid of both of them immediately and you buy some cheap car for cash. I own a business, and both these cars can be a tax write-off. No scheming and scamming. Get rid of them both by being a co-signer on those. You are liable for those. He could take those cars and you wouldn't have anything to say about it. I mean, that's the way it goes. The same way as if you both were on a bank account. Guess what? Either one of you at any point in time could go to the bank by yourself and take all of the money out. This is a dumb butt thing to do. I do the weight of the vehicle and I use it mostly for work. Car 2 has a tax credit. I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap about any of it. You need to get rid of both of them because it's a liability. Being a co-signer on a co-signor, like in the mob or something, co-signer with your boyfriend. You need to get rid of both of them. you get rid of both of them as quickly as possible. None of the other stuff you typed means anything. And I don't care what you want to do about it. You're asking, what car do you keep? Neither of them. None of them. You buy one in cash with the proceeds, if any, from selling you the car. If they have any equity in them, if you're underwater on both of them to get rid of them, well, then that's a little thing we call stupid tax for you co-signing. Dumb as crap, as always. I see Yak 1204 beginning our mortgage payoff journey. That's not dumb as crap. Hey, maybe these people actually do follow the baby steps and only invest 15% while also paying the house off. Maybe they will. Let's see. Beginning our mortgage payoff journey. As I said, this from IC Yak 1204. Mortgage payoff progress. Original mortgage $668,000. Let me guess, 30-year mortgage. Start date November 1, 2020. Current balance $549.99. Yeah, so most of it still. Home value $1.2 million. Total paid off 118 plus. Progress 17.6% complete. That's still too close to the number there. And to have an original mortgage of 668, that would need to be $250,000 a year. 500. No, more than that. Maybe like 275, closer to 3 bills, maybe. Like so around 260, 27, between 260 and 275, something like that. Anyway, we weren't laser focused at first, but that's changing now. Every saved dollar, every extra payment, every intentional choice, all going toward one goal: debt-free home ownership, target payoff ASAP. Because turning equity into freedom, that's the real flex. Okay, and that's great. But gotta know the income. And so if it's not at least 260, this is a no. You should never ever have done that, especially if it's on a 30-year. And so that's the problem with this stuff. You know, this is all good, and this is all, yeah, we're paying it off, and we're going to be completely debt-free, blah, 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 blah. It probably is too expensive for you, and you shouldn't have got it in the first place, and you should sell it now. Especially since, I guess, it has appreciated some. Because it's now worth $1.2 million, and so it was 668 when you got the original mortgage. Don't know how much down payment you put down, if any. And so, yeah, the advice would be to sell it and buy a cheaper house. Probably, again, though, I mean, if you make 260 plus household income, knock yourself out. Have fun paying it off. And that, of course, should be within 15 years, even if it is a 30-year mortgage. If it's not going to be within 15 years, that's more evidence to say that you should be selling that. Pan Am 747. So I paused school during the debt snowball. That's a good question. Currently in flight school with eventual lofty goals of making it into professional aviation someday. See the problem? So you see, not everybody graduates flight school. I take the flight school lessons when I can and pay out of pocket as I go. Okay. It's about $250 per lesson. By the time I have all the ratings needed to get a job, I will spend comparable amount to that of a bachelor's degree. But without going into debt for it. Yep, and that's the way to do it. If you are going to do it. However, currently I have plenty of other consumer debt, no real mortgage. What do you mean, no real mortgage? Should I put off the schooling? Put the schooling off until I'm debt free? Yes. Has anyone here paused schooling / college to get out of debt? Maybe, but it doesn't matter. I just sold a piece of land today and will net $26,035. Okay, which I will throw at all the smallest debts as early as next week when the check clears. And that's great. If you have any other assets like that laying around, you sell that. If you have crypto, you sell that. If you have single stocks that are not in a retirement account, you would sell that. Let's see. Work a job 4 weeks away. What? In addition, I work a job 4 weeks away. What does that mean? Oh, away from home? And 2 weeks home. I got you now. Okay. Which is not conducive to flight training consistency. Yep. So the sooner I can afford to get a lesser paying regular job, the sooner I can fly consistently. Here's some stats. Okay. And you going down in income in order to stay home more, to pay more for the flying lessons so that you can keep doing that, so that eventually you can be a pilot, maybe. You don't know. People do wash out of that. You might not be able to make that work. So income, $75,000 your gross. Debt, $72,000. So that's a no on flight school. Sorry, you wait till you get out of debt. $26,480 on the car. Got a great idea. You can get your debt under $50,000 by selling the freaking car. $14,1338 personal loan 1. Were any of these loans for flight school? Or flight lessons, rather. $10,880 mobile home residence, 5-year loan. Yeah, that was dumb as crap too. Should have just rented somewhere. $8,706 what are the personal loans for, Doc? $6,900 credit card 1, $5,000 credit card number 2. Debt after land sale money $46,300, and then if you sell the car, that would take it down to under. Wait, 14. No, take it down under to 32. After land sale money, 46. Oh, and yeah, 46, 20, and then 26. Oh, that would take it under $20,000. So yeah, you sell that car and buy a cheap cash car. Since you have all that land money, use $5,000 or less of that to buy a beater car while you pay off your freaking debt, get your finances straight, and then maybe you can be a flyboy. After that, keep your high-paying job while you're paying off the debt. Boom, 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 boom. So yes, you pause school. It's not really school. It's flight lessons. This person I think called the Ramsey show. Looking to survive. So my deceased father left me his construction business when I don't have any construction experience. Yeah, I mean, unless it makes a ton of money, and you can pay somebody that worked for your father to run it, that knows how to run it. If you have somebody in place already that works there that can do that, maybe you can work out a deal, and put him in charge of the whole thing if you trust him. The easiest thing to do, or the likely thing to do so that you're not beholden to any other person on the life or death, so to speak, of this actual business. And if it can make you money and if it's a good idea to hang on to it, since you don't have any experience at all, you have no idea. So, I mean, it would have to be a situation where, like, you would probably have to know the person and have to known him for years. Like, if your father had him as a foreman or something like that. I don't know, some high position in the construction business. Otherwise, you sell it, and not having any construction experience, that makes it hard to price as well. I mean, you can go by what it has made. You can go by just the books. As far as what the financials are each year, and you can go by that. And, say, well, it makes this much money. And you get this client list as well. Anyway, I made a post earlier about my father's house and my ultimate refusal to let my mother move in. Hoping to get advice. Somebody sees father and left behind his construction company to me. Well, most of it, he is 90% owner, but his longtime girlfriend is 10% owner. I take it back. Sell it. You're out of that. You're out of that. Or at least sell your share in it, and whoever is dumb enough to buy it from you will be 90% owner to his longtime girlfriend's 10%. But she wants to sell her piece to me so she can retire. Okay. And do you have that money? Does the company have that money laying around for you to do that? Also, this business is apparently much larger than I initially thought when I saw the will. Long story short, father started construction business. I don't think this is I think this is a short story long is what you're doing, my friend. Let's see if there's some fun stuff in here. The problem is no experience. Like I said, if it was all yours, then you could buy, and there was somebody in place that you trusted to do that, even though you still have to accept that, well, I don't know anything about it, and all it takes is this guy that I am trusting to do this to screw up or to siphon funds out of the business, and I don't know anything about construction, so I might not realize that it's happening. I had already asked a business broker to help. I got a few non-decent offers. Well, nothing about this is going to be cheap as far as you selling, but that will get you some money still, even after you have to pay the business broker. My dad's girlfriend suggested that I learn from her, offering to stay for a few years with the guarantee that I buy out her 10%. Yeah, you see, I don't want to count on other people like that. I can't do that. Both my SWE job. I can't do both my SWE job. I don't know what that is. Let's see. This is why we have the thing open. SWE jobs. Software engineer. Oh, yeah, you don't need this. Sell it. And run my dad's business. Yeah, you don't need it. Sell it. Ask her if she wants to buy it from you. Even if you have to sell it cheaper to her. I live in a completely different state from him still. Oh, yeah. And so definitely, no. That's a no. And I haven't even gotten my remote exception approved yet. Should I still try to sell my dad's company? Yes. Or quit my job to own and handle his business? No, that was not. You're not even in construction. If you like construction, you would have been in construction. But you're a software engineer, and I would say that's probably more enjoyable to you. So keep doing that, and just get as much money as you can out of your dad's company. Say thanks, pops. Thanks, Pop. See, the issue is here that if he wanted you to run it, he should have told you that ahead of time and taught you about it from the moment you were born, start talking to you about it and have you working in it. When you're a kid, like as soon as you're legally able to work in the construction business, you should have been there working there. But since you can't, it's just it's sorry, pops, I can't. I can't run the company. I don't know how. I don't know how to do that. And so, yep, just get the cash from it, and say thanks, pops, every night till you go to sleep. Let's see. You, me equal family. Okay. Yep. Any two people can be like a family for sure. Starting over budget. Starting the budget over, or you're starting over something else after screwing up, and then now you're budgeting and you weren't before. Let's see what it is. I'm selling everything and moving from Alaska to Seattle. Why? The three of us, me, kiddo, and dog, are moving in with my mom without a job. I still have money coming in. It is about $2,100 after paying my bills. I have about $800 left over. Is the $2,100, you're making that forever? And that might be bills in Alaska, but not in Seattle. Seattle might be a higher cost of living than anywhere in Alaska. My big goal is to make a budget that I will stick with and fix my finances, okay? And that's what you want to do. Well, it's easy. All you got to do is cut out everything that's not 100% necessary to live. And that's not that much fun, but that does get you done with the early baby steps much faster. What I was thinking was taking the 25% of take home for housing at $550 in savings for when I move out. No, you would apply. I mean, you should, adults should be living on their own per Mr. Ramsey. But if you're going to do that, you should be paying off any debt before you start saving to move out. I will also regular saving 5% at 110. You would not be doing that either. You would have $1,000 emergency fund, and that's it. Depending, didn't say anything about debt, so I don't even know. Hard to advise when we don't know the situation. My leftover will be about 128 to do things with my kiddo and pup. My question is, should I take that 30%? That they speak English in Alaska, right? That maybe not everybody. That I'm saving and go after my debt instead. There it goes. Instead, or save to move out. The debt I'm talking about is less than $7,000. If you're choosing to move in with your mom, and you're going to do that regardless, then you should take advantage of it and pay off that debt instead, and then move out. Yes, I will be paying my mom an amount of $250. She set the rent amount. Okay, very nice of her. Again, not the Ramsey advice, but if you are intent on doing it, then you make the best of the situation, and the amount of money you're saving and all that should go to debt. And so you get the debt and then the full emergency fund, and you have both of those by the time you move out. Or you can move out even before you have the full emergency fund. I don't care about that part of it. Litterbug, what more advice would you have given this woman? Okay, I guess we're gonna be. I feel like for me, this is somebody that I didn't like the advice on the show, and so I'm gonna complain about it on the Reddit. Let's see. About 50 minutes in, TLDL. what? About 15 minutes in, too long, didn't listen, maybe? Woman is financially supporting her mother by allowing her to live on their property in a garage apartment at a greatly reduced rent. Yep, mother gets $2,000 a month. Social, yeah, I remember this call. Has about $100,000 nest egg. Daughter found out that mother is giving money to another daughter who chooses to only work 2 days a week. Yep, so we can continue to get welfare. So basically, daughter number one is also supporting our sister. Yep. Especially for sister. That's from a little movie called Star Wars Return of the Jedi. That's episode 6, kids. Question was, what should I do? Dave and John only suggested that she tell mom to stop giving mother to her welfare daughter, or she have to move out. Okay, well, if that's what Dave and John said, I can't think of two better hosts for money and, you know, emotional, mental, etc. people than Dave or John. So, and I don't care what problem you had with it. So, there you go. You know, you don't have to watch the show. This is the show. And if they're going to be saying things that you don't like and that you're going to get upset about, why bother watching it? That's just dumb. I'm glad I'm glad you feel like putting money in his pocket by watching. But if I didn't like something, if I had a problem with something and all I would do is complain, like some people in the chat do, I would find something that I liked instead to do with my time. Because that's just nutty. All right, on, what is it? Tomorrow is Saturday. Oh, Saturday. I think Saturday and Sunday. I'm working in both mornings, I think. I can't remember. We'll see. I think I updated the crawl here, and we'll see at the end. All right, but on the next whichever show, either on the one of the weekend days, answering your financial questions, or on the Ramsey Show After Show Monday, we'll be doing these questions. Ability Deep, scream with me. I'm debt free. 70K student loan, 13 months. Congratulations. Hey there, y'all. Hi, guys. I have a question regarding a scenario that occurred the other day between my wife and I about maybe kind of sort of buying a new house. And I feel like for me, if you have to put maybe kind of sort of on it, you know darn well it's a bad idea. But we'll read it and find out. Novel B, 541, Roth and potential penalties. You do not tap retirement. You do not tap retirement until you retire. Period. Not to get out of debt early. Not to do any of the other baby steps. I mean, under certain conditions. Bankruptcy, I don't know if that's one. Or foreclosure, I don't know if that's one where they force you to give up your retirement. It would only be something where they forced you to do it. Otherwise, you don't do it. Even though a lot of times it's a quick fix and that's what people want. And they're baby step 7, so why would you want to do that then? All right, well, we'll find out. They screwed up somehow. Maybe they took money out when they shouldn't. I don't know. We'll see. Or some kind of dumb remodel or something like that. We'll see. We'll find out. And take a new job to pay off debt. Yeah, you work as many jobs as you can. If you can get one job that pays more money, great. If you can also get a part-time job, great. Alrighty, once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solution Certified financial coach. Not a family coach at all. I guess if the family's doing finances, I am. But no, I'm a Ramsey Solution Certified financial coach. And if you have money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or you just need me to tell you that you're doing it wrong, because most people are, and the reason is Most people don't want to do the Ramsey advice because they don't want to do the sacrificing that often comes with it if you are in an earlier baby step. But if you want to do that and have a consultation assessment with me, just email me and we'll work it out. My schedule changes way too much to use a website. I used to use Calendly, but it just changes way too much. Like, for example, it just changed for next week so I could, well, let's do that again. It just changed for next week so that I'm able to do an after show in the mornings. Every day except Tuesday. How about that? So yeah, changes too much. So that email again, coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and you can use that for financial questions, anything on my YouTube channel, anything you got on your mind, it's fine. Email me. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, CashApp, $CoachSteveMoney. It wasn't taken. Or a Walmart gift card to that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and it'll be emailed right to me. Upcoming streams, let's see if I have this right. The Ramsey Show After Show, 11:07 a.m. Eastern Time. Every day next week, it should have been a comma there. I was typing it fast. Every day next week except Tuesday, between June 30th and July 4th. Then I will have a show July 4th. And which is a Friday. Answering your financial questions streams 8 p.m. Eastern, either Saturday or Sunday this last weekend, as I said, of June. And then it'll be Sunday, the first weekend of July. All right, because I'll be at work all the other days, apparently, on the weekend. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every single day.